is Samar, but I also go by Sam or First Time Panner, and this will be my final video of 2023, which is my Pan That Palette finale. And the idea for Pan That Palette was created by Amber F, so she'll be linked in my description box. And this entire year, well, except for January, but other than that, this entire year I've been doing the Better Together theme that was created by Paula from A Beauty Guru Made Me Do It, which is where you pan two palettes at the same time that just work better together rather than separately. And for that, I chose originally my Sigma Ambiance palette, which I actually don't have with me because I'm currently out of town. And oh, you can see like my jacket hanging up. Sorry, that totally distracted me. But anyway, as you can tell from the background, I'm out of town and I did not bring my Ambiance palette with me, but I did bring my Sephora Blues Beauty palette that I've also been panning with this, since this is cool tone and the Ambiance is mostly warm tone. And they're both neutral palettes. Excuse me. Okay, my water's on the other side of the room, so I'm not gonna go get it. But this won't be the most exciting finale ever. Sorry about that. Not only do I not have the palette with me, the Ambiance palette, I did take a picture of it, so I'll post on the screen a picture and just talk about all of the changes that I made since last month. And then this palette, as you know, is very slow moving, so not the grandest of finales and not the most exciting Pan That Palette series of all time anyway, but I'm really happy I did this, and I'll get started with the actual finale. So I guess first I'll talk about, as I always do, I'll talk about the Ambiance palette. So hopefully I'll be able to fit it. So also, if you hear that, that's not me farting, that's the chair. I'll try to fit in a picture of it below my face. Hopefully I'm not cutting myself off, but that is my dad in the background, and my stepmom, so you might hear them. But yeah, so as you can see, just the most exciting update for this palette is I hit pan on the shade Enrich, which is very exciting for me. I was trying and trying and trying all year to hit pan on the shade. I've been using it the entire year, almost every time I've used this palette, so that was really exciting for me to finally hit pan on this. And yeah, I'm glad that now at least I have 3 pans in this palette, which is not a bunch considering I've been panning it for a year, but it's what I got. And Sigma is a very difficult formula to pan, so at least out of everything I have that. I also do have like, even though I brought this with me, I do have much better progress on the Ambiance palette because I also hit a few other goals. I was finally able to wear away the imprint on the shade. It's called Summer Solstice, I think is what it's called. So I finally got the imprint off of that shade, which took a lot more effort than it should have. It was just more tightly pressed and a thinner formula than all of the other mattes in that palette. I also, once I hit pan on the shade Enrich, that was like about 3 days before I left for this trip, so pretty much every other time I did my eyeshadow after that, I still use the Ambiance palette, and I made sure to use the other deep shade, which I can't remember what it's called, but you should be able to see it on the screen. And I was able to wear away the imprint on that dark brown shade, so that was really nice. These aren't the exact same shades. It's not the exact same as Enrich, but so it's like a little more very slightly purple leaning, so a little bit more cool toned, and just a tiny bit darker, but it still has the same opacity level, and it was still just a dark brown, so I was kind of able to use them interchangeably, so that worked out well. And then the last shade that I was able to wear away the imprint on was the shimmer called Luster, which is a cool toned kind of inner corner shimmer for me. That's how I would use it. And This also took me all year to finally even just wear away the imprint on, because I was only using such a small amount of this every time I used it. I only use this as an inner corner highlight. So yeah, I finally got the imprint worn away off of that, and now in this palette I have not only worn away all of the imprints on the mattes, but all of the creamier shimmers like Luster and Sunflower. There might have been one more, I think Burnish, the other shimmer. All of those also I have worn away the imprint on. The only ones that I wasn't able to wear the imprint off of were the like drier, thinner shimmers, or they worked more as like lid toppers or inner corner highlights, but those were just like, they would take way too much work to wear away the imprint on. I would have had to use them like hundreds of times. So all in all, I'm happy with where this palette ended up at the end of the year, because even though I had not very good progress on it the entire year and the finale wasn't that exciting, considering I was able to hit a few goals in the very last month. There's my stepmom. Considering I was able to hit a few little goals by the finale, I am satisfied where that one is. Now let's talk about the Blues Beauty. I am so sorry to say I was not able to hit pan on this, so this is what it's looking like now. A few months ago I did take out the blue. I just decluttered it. I wasn't getting use on it. And I was really trying so hard to hit pan on the shade. If you can see like that, there is such a huge dip in this. I'm even wearing it today. I've been wearing this every single day that I've been here, and I've been here for 2 weeks now, and I even thought I was close to pan when I came here. And so 2 weeks straight of nonstop use when I already thought I was close to pan, considering the depth of this pan, it's pretty much the exact same. So somehow I was not able to hit pan on this. I really thought I would be able to, and I just wasn't. But I know there has to be no more than like 2 uses maximum before I hit pan on this. So I mean, I will be using this in the coming year, so I know I'll be able to hit pan on it in 2024, but it was just a real shame that I wasn't able to hit pan by the finale, because that would have made like my terrible progress on my ambiance palette that much more worth it. Because this, I mean, as I've said the entire year, this palette is an incredibly difficult palette to pan. The shadows in here, especially the matte shadows, are incredibly thin and super tightly packed. So I've used this palette at least 100 times at the minimum. Almost all of the uses were on this shade right here too. I'd say at least 50 uses went to this shade, and I still haven't been able to hit pan on it. So yeah, I wasn't able to do that, but I do have like a ginormous dip in this shade now, so that'll bring me that much closer to pan next year. And I also have this entire year greatly deepened the dip in this lid setting shade, and I've also created pretty good dips in these 2 darker shades. I did wear this shimmer today, but that was my makeup from earlier. Right now I'm wearing my New Year's Eve makeup. I'm going to dinner with my family, so I had to redo my special makeup. But yeah, these darker shades I've been using. This one I used when I was panning my e.l.f. liquid shadow. I would use this every time I used that one, and then this one I'm wearing now as well. And my go-to look with this is just to set the lid with this, put this in the crease and transition, and then use this for the outer corner, and then both of these on the lower lash line as well. So that's kind of what I've been doing, and that's how I've been getting some pretty good dips in here. So as far as the progress on this, even though I am disappointed that I wasn't able to hit pan on these, I am really happy with what I was able to do, because I know how difficult these pans are to work on. So it wasn't a total failure, but yeah, that's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. And I will be working on this sometime soon. I won't spoil anything for next week's introductions, but I will be working on this sometime soon. So maybe while I'm working on this next year, we'll see a pan while it's in a project. But for now, I'm going to put this away and I'm going to work on the other eyeshadow palette that I brought with me, since I haven't really been able to use it since I've been here. And yeah, I'm excited for next year, which I should mention, I am actually not doing a Pan That palette next year. I've been doing a Pan That palette for these past 2 years, and they haven't been the most successful projects, but I have loved doing them so much. Not only are they really fun for me to kind of just like focus on a palette as my go-to, it kind of makes doing my makeup even easier that way, but also my Pan That palette videos have always been my most viewed videos, and also the ones that get the most comments and most interactions with other people. So like, views and everything isn't why I started my YouTube channel at all, but I mean, I probably won't be getting to interact with as many people since I won't be doing a Pan That palette next year. But I've made the decision to do something else, which you will see, actually you'll see tomorrow, so stay tuned for that introduction. But yeah, I won't be doing a Pan That palette next year. I really love it, but I think at least for this next year, for sure, I'm going to take a break on it so that I can use more of my eyeshadow palette collection and not just focus on 1 or 2 palettes. That being said, I have loved really working on multiple palettes this year in the Pan That palette project, so shout out to Paula for creating a genius idea, because I think this went a lot better with me having both the warm and cool tone options, and this palette definitely would not have gotten nearly as much use as it did this year if I didn't put it in for the Better Together theme. I don't know if I would have even really touched it more than once this year, and it definitely wouldn't be looking like this. So that was a really good idea from her, and if you're doing a Pan That palette this year or for 2024, definitely recommend doing the Better Together theme created by Paula. So yeah, I don't even really know what I'm saying anymore. I think I just need to put all of this 2023 panning behind me. I need to go enjoy my dinner with my family, and I need to enjoy the new year and get ready for 2024 panning. So thank you so much for following me. I've been saying this in every video that I've been uploading, but for my last video of 2023, thank you. There's my stepmom. Thank you so much for keeping up with all of my panning and just like being so supportive, especially with my like very lackluster progress. But it's really been a blast, and I can't wait for the future. Happy New Year. I'll see you in my next video tomorrow. Bye.